So what's your view on the current state of vendor-customer relationships, and do you think it's dysfunctional today?
I think any time in any industry where there is an opportunity to make money, that there will always be some kind of dysfunction. And, I'll go back to repeat a thing I've said several times earlier. Our world and the way that we live is moving very, very fast. I think that there has never been, in many ways, as many opportunities to build a life in a number of different ways than there have been in the past, right? In the past, many people thought, you go through school or not, or get a trade, you begin to work for a company, you might stay with that company for a very, very long time, you might switch off to another company or not, and this was the life. Now, it is so different than that. And in the cybersecurity arena in particular, because we are still after the solution, because there is still more innovation to be had, because people are worried about quantum, right? The technologies that we have today, all of them have been around for a long, long time. It is the way people put them together and think about how to make them usable and effective are the things that are changing. But on the horizon is something that is really quite new, okay? Quantum technology is something that very few people know how to write yet. There is the idea that it might be as long as 40 years away, but there is also the idea that it may be pretty much around the corner sometime in the next 5 to 10 years. That's going to change a lot of things, okay? Because much of the security that is available in the world today is not ready for quantum. If quantum gets in the hands of malicious actors, it's going to be another challenge that we need to address. So all of these things that I'm talking about create an environment where there's a lot of money to be made. I liken cybersecurity to many of the people that buy cybersecurity are not technologists, right? They're trying to solve a business problem. They may have some advice from technologists or some of the people in their company, from the CISO on the CTO, to understand what they should be looking at. But it's almost like bringing your car to the mechanic, right? It's, what's that noise, right? And you don't really know what you don't know. And you're not familiar with all the pieces. You know that something needs to be done, but what needs to be done? I think that the best vendors are seizing on the opportunity to make money, all right, because that's what the economy is about. The world economy is about making money, and we're losing billions and billions and billions of dollars every year with the data vulnerability issue. But the best vendors are making money by really understanding what their customers need, by recommending that the solution is something that actually works, by helping them to decide, by educating them a little bit about what they have. And if they don't know, then recommending, you really should get a pen test. You really should understand what you have and where your gaps are. And then let's figure it out. Okay? I think that's where we need to be. The human aspect of cybersecurity, just like the human aspect of living in this world, is a critical factor. It is a critical factor. And I think the companies that are going to do best are the ones that keep that human factor top of mind and make it easy for customers to trust them. Because if there's no trust, then there's not going to be making any money.
We're seeing, quite recently, we're seeing a huge increase actually with women in cybersecurity, especially through the UK and Europe. Do you see the same in the US, first of all? And why do you think this is?
I think it's because of a much larger focus, right? What what we've been seeing of late in the world is the idea that diversity is a powerful tool in any business. And there have been lots and lots and lots of women in technology and in cybersecurity for decades. But in proportion to the men who had been in cybersecurity, a much smaller proportion. We're getting a lot of awareness about the women who have been in cybersecurity for a while now because they've come to the surface, right? It's like, well, yes, there are women in cybersecurity, here they are, right? I know that Europe has been quite progressive and that you are building a platform for women to really go into cybersecurity and to take advantage of what is really a wonderful career for anyone, regardless of gender.
Right.
In the United States, we are still quite a minority. I know that most of the time when I go to an event or I speak somewhere, I am decidedly in the minority, although it is getting better. I used to be only, one of 2 or 3 people in the room who was a female gender, and now there might be.
Out of how many? Sorry, just to get an idea.
Just about 1 or 2 or 3 used to be in the room, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and now there's probably a couple of dozen. So there is definitely a trend. I happen to think diversity in any business, not just cyber, is a very powerful tool. You can read a lot about it, but all genders, not just female and male, all genders bring a thinking process that I think influences the very best decisions. Perspective is valuable, right? And the larger perspective that we get on any issue from people who have different ideas than we have informs decisions that inevitably are the best ones.